Eggman. This is the first boss fight. It looks impossible. You can't reach Eggman, right? No. When he does his full pass, he starts moving like a chicken, and then you just hit him 3 times, and that's... This is the good future. I've saved Collision Chaos, so everything's all green and bright and colorful, and... Well, it wouldn't be that way if Eggman got his way. I'll be showing the bad futures in an extra video, along with what happens if you leave the game on for 3 minutes and do nothing. Yeah, I read your comments. I know about the stuff. I know. There's an extra video. It'll come when the LP's done. Anyway, this boss fight, if you want to call it that, isn't really much of a boss fight. Eggman is at the top shooting bombs at you, but the bombs don't hurt you. They just sort of bounce you around the place. They're like bumpers in a pinball machine. And go figure, we're in a pinball machine. All you have to do is get to the top, folks. You get to the top, you hit Eggman, a door goes underneath you, and so you can't fall back. And then you just go up and chase him, and that's pretty much it. It's not even a boss fight, as it is a small mini-game. I mean, it's not even challenging. It's easier than the first boss, dare I say it. It also makes me worried for Sonic Spinball, because if this is my pinball skills, I'm gonna have a horrible time LPing Sonic Spinball. But I'm doing it, damn it, I don't care. Anyway, Eggman ball, unless you want to get hit by Eggman. The boss fight is underwater, and you think you'll drown, but actually Eggman surrounds himself with tons of air bubbles. He only gets killed in 1 hit. The whole idea of the fight is to suck up all these air bubbles as quickly as you can, while at the same time dodging the 4 lasers he keeps shooting at you, so that, you know, you can get an open shot on Eggman. I believe if you drain all the air bubbles out, he'll actually refill all the air bubbles around him again. It only takes 1 hit to kill him, and he dives down very not so often. I was lucky to actually hit him there, but I hit him, and that's it for Eggman. That's it for the boss fight. Pretty simple, I think. Anyway, folks, we're going to get the last time stone and move on to the next level in part 4. See you then. Impact, I played the others when I was like 8 and 5, well, 8 and 7 and such, but I don't know, I thought it was pretty that, but how does a wacky workbench transform over time? I really want to know. It's like a factory, it's a weird, it just looks like kids live there now, but I digress. We're at Eggman, and he's got, well, he's drilling up the ceiling. The ceiling chunks will fall to the ground, and then get off the ground, because there's electricity that'll be running, it'll propel the rocks upwards, and you use that to get higher and hit Eggman some more. And that's pretty much the whole boss fight. I'm not sure if... No, the boulders do not hurt you, like the little chunks of rock that are flying downwards. So don't worry about dodging them, just worry about dodging the actual chunks that are falling from the ceiling that you need to climb up to get to Eggman. And in the 3rd run, he'll start shooting spikes along with those rock chunks. The spikes will definitely hurt you, so watch out for those. But really, pretty easy boss fight. Just stay on the rocks. When you see Eggman, jump into him. You can't make it any easier. I'm telling you, Sonic CD is not the hardest game ever. Every Eggman boss fight is pretty much a joke. Damn you, rocks. I wanted to compare how fast Eggman was to me again. Because he's always Sonic! And Metal Sonic is by far the hardest boss in the game, no doubt. He's not as bad as some people make him out to be, but... well, he's a pain in the ass. Basically, you're not actually fighting Metal Sonic per se, you're racing him. Watch out for this cheap-ass move, too. Eggman starts shooting a laser, he shoots it 3 times as he goes left before the race starts. That'll completely catch you off guard the first time you play it, and he'll zap you, and it's always a pain in the ass. But the whole point of this boss fight is that you're racing Metal Sonic to the end. If you do not beat Metal Sonic to the end, a door will close behind him as he makes it to the crossing line, and you'll be stuck, and Eggman is following us the whole time with a laser. That laser is instant kill, even if you have rings. I repeat, even if you have rings, that laser is instant kill. So, you can't be slow in this race. Obviously you want to beat Metal Sonic, but also, if you're so slow that Eggman caught up with you, then you're gonna die. And there he is, oh god, I almost touched it. I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I still got the lead, bullshit! Bullshit! Let's try that again, shall we? So yeah, Metal Sonic is kind of cheap in that as soon as you have the lead, he's going to turn on his invincibility boosting mode. And his invincibility boosting mode, it can't outrun you if you're running on a flat surface. It's all fine and dandy, but because there are spikes everywhere on this racetrack, they constantly stop you, and then Metal Sonic just like catches up with his invincibility boost and fucks you all up. If you even stop for a second, he always seems to get the upper hand and boost ahead of you. And if you stay behind him too long, he starts turning on this invincibility machine where, or not this invincibility machine, but this electric field where, yeah, there it is. He starts shocking himself the whole time, and if you even touch him, you get hurt, and that's no good. So it's kind of hard. You have to keep ahead of him. If you're behind him, don't worry. The race is far from over. If anything, that just means you have more time to catch up to him, because he only does the invincibility boost if you're ahead of him. So sometimes, some people like to go behind him the whole race, and when they're at the end of the race, they boost ahead of him. But I digress. Fuck you, Metal Sonic! Fuck you and your robot core! Those are hard enough to jump on without waiting for the big crushing thing that's blocking Eggman's pathway to come down, up and down. And I've fallen in that bottomless pit millions of times. Sometimes I would never fight Eggman. I would get a game over just on that pit alone. And it's by far the hardest part of this game. I'm not kidding around. I know I made it look easy. I know I went by it in like 30 seconds flat, but that is bullshit. That bottomless pit is horrible, and I can't believe the pathway leading to Eggman has a crushing block going up and down. Halfway, no less. But, now I'm just going on a big rant. We're at the final battle of the game, folks, and Eggman likes to take his time to do all kinds of moves. You have to wait until there's an opening until you can actually hit him, though you can get hit and then hit him anyway, much like the Metropolis boss in Sonic 2. And in that sense, he's the easiest final boss ever. But I'm going to show you the proper way to do it, the not getting myself hurt kind of way to do it. Basically, you just got to wait till he's low enough, and then there's an opening, and then boom, you hit him, you know? It takes a while when you're doing it the long way, but, you know. You only have to hit him 4 times, and that's the final boss. There's not one Eggmobile in this game that gets defeated in 8 hits. And that's usually with every Sonic game. It takes 8 hits, and the Eggmobile gets destroyed. In this one, it's always like 4 or less, you know? Like, seriously. There's always these weird, specific patterns to Eggman this time around, and it's okay, it's different, it's pretty damn easy. I've never found Eggman that hard in this game. Like, this is supposed to be the final boss, and I don't feel the threat, honestly. It also doesn't help that you have rings in this battle, so there really is no threat. Imagine if this was without rings. Maybe then it would be threatening, but because you have rings, it's not that bad, honestly. You just wait for his opening, wait for him to duck down, and then you jump into him, and really, that's it! Bye, Eggman! And there's Amy! I'll see you in the ending, folks! Storylines. But basically, Angel Island is a floating island. It's not floating anymore. Sonic found it. Eggman's here. Blah, 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 blah. And now Eggman's burning the shit out of the forest. Eggman. If you have the flame shield on, his attacks actually won't damage you, so that's what makes the first boss rather fucking easy. Assuming you have the flame shield anyway. What happened there was Tails hit Eggman before I could, so I sort of passed through him and ran into Eggman, and I should have hit him, but Tails got in my way. Fuck you, Tails. I hate having Tails as a backup partner. And you're gonna see in the rest of the footage of this game that he dicks me around way too many times. I hate having a fucking partner. Get away from me, Tails. You fight me like a man. What is he, a pussy? Shut up! But I digress. This is Dr. Eggman yet again in his classic Eggmobile. He likes to swirl a giant whirlpool with his fans, and if you get into that whirlpool, you'll rush up to where his fan is and run into the blades, and it'll cut you, and that's no good. After he does the whirlpool move, he starts dropping bombs, and you can use the wave that the bomb creates to bounce off into the sky and land on Eggman. If you do it like me, right here, you can land on Eggman directly and just keep jumping on him, and it's pretty damn easy. Another thing I didn't mention is that when Sonic doesn't have a shield on, and he doesn't have 50 rings, and using the jump attack that extends Sonic's reach, you can get a lot of shots in on Eggman before he drills up the ground. So I'd recommend doing that if you want a quicker boss fight. Oh no, I'm dead! Nope, I'm not dead. Basically, this boss is kind of hard in the sense that you have to jump off Tails, who's holding you up, and you have to move him around with the control pad, and land on Eggman. Sometimes, the way you bounce off Eggman, you can bounce off into his flamethrower in the back that's piloting him around, or the drill itself, and that's always no good. So depending on where you land on Eggman, you can bounce in the wrong position, so sometimes you have to make sure that when you bounce... Now folks, because I didn't want to turn Supersonic on you and cheese the boss fight, I actually tried to do this the slow way of beating Dr. Eggman. And that's basically, this isn't very different from the Hydro City boss fight actually. He drops a marble in the middle of the floor, you can't touch it, it will damage you. Even when there's no electricity around it, it will damage you. He shoots electricity that tries to draw you in, much like the whirlpool in Hydro City, and then you jump on Eggman when he tries to get the marble back. However, if you can't turn into Supersonic, use the white ability, like the jumping ability, and you can hit Eggman from the bottom. Even though Sonic isn't reaching him, the white outline does, and it damages him, and it's no good. And the layout of a little bit of the layout was changed in Sonic 3 when you lock on Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I don't know why. I think it was to make the game a little bit easier so you could make it to the Mushroom Hill side, to the Sonic and Knuckles side of the game, but, you know. This is Eggman. He shoots ice at the bottom, then he shoots it on the side, shoots at the bottom, shoots at the side. He does this over and over and over again. You gotta be really quick to get to Eggman's platform, hit him, and then get off, like I did just there, but, you know. Getting hit by his ice cloud will freeze you for half a second, and then when you unthaw, you'll be losing your rings. So watch out for that guy. He's just having a lot of fun, okay? He's just having a lot of fun being the good guy, I guess. This boss I tried to handle normally. Like, this is all you have to do if you're not Supersonic. You just run from one side of the room to the other. When he stops spinning, hit his sides, and when one of the ball spikes breaks off, just try and hit him when the ball... Did it! Like, it depressed me. Sonic 06 is one of the few games to honestly depress me. Because this is when the bad publicity surrounding Sonic started happening. Like, when Shadow the Hedgehog came out, Sonic got shitty supposed to be. That's why Eggman looks fucking retarded. He doesn't even smile in that game. And he does smile, but he doesn't have the fucking grin that everyone loves Eggman for. Or at least I love Eggman for. He just had this fucking thin body, and he was so fucking weird looking. It was so out of place.